The rollercoaster practice. Do you think meditation is boring? I do too. The rollercoaster practice is perfect for minds that cannot sit still, just like yours and mine. Try it. It's the most useful tool I use every day for my own well-being. It will help improve your well-being. It is based on neuroscience and it's free. One of the best things about being human is that you can control your thoughts and shepherd them in useful directions. This is what we're going to do now. Consider this practice a technology to floss your mind and bring about incremental progress towards your many goals every day. Your life is a roller coaster. Your happiness and well-being keeps going up and down. Yet you have a happiness baseline. The aim of this practice is to raise your happiness baseline a few points and to make the troughs not as deep and shorter in time. If you find it useful, share it with your friends and family and increase their well-being as well. Your brain likes novelty. You have to deliver or it will get bored and switch off. This is why this practice seems so complex at first sight. But you do not need to do the whole practice every time. You can do it all or skip to the sections that catch your imagination and that you feel you need the most. Keep varying the parts you do and keep varying the choice of options that you're given. I'll give you plenty of options. Beware of the boredom that comes from always making the same choices. Keep turning it around. Make it varied. Ideally, use the roller coaster practice twice a day, as you wake up and as you go to bed. It's just like flossing, but for your mind. This is the longer version of the practice. Use it a few times to get used to it, and after that, use it once a week. For the most part, use the roller coaster practice light, where I will just prompt you. I will be quiet for most of the time and let you think. The practice has two main sessions. The first deals with being happy right now. The second with having a project for the future in different areas of your life, including the area that deals with your contribution to the world. Each section gives you different choices. Do not take them all at the same time. Only take one or two options. Keep changing it around every time. If you do, this practice will never get boring or old. I've been doing it for months and it works every time. This practice draws on the work of many mentors. Among them, Dacher Keltner of the Greater Good Science Center at Berkeley University, Vishen Lakhiani of Mind Valley, Jamie Wheel and Stephen Kotler of the Flow Genome Project, David Delgado of the Museum of Awe, Jason Silva of Shots of Awe and Brain Games, Stephen Johnson, Stuart Kaufman and Sean Aker, Dave Asprey, Marisa Peer, Pagan Kennedy, the team at Heart Math for the Biohacking Inner Balance Sensor, and more. I have no attachment to any of them for your knowledge. Enjoy! Well-being is our default state. That's where we go back to when we suspend worrying about the future, feeling sorry about the past, and having negative feelings about other persons or situations or ourselves. We can focus on the present and practice mindfulness, and we can choose to let go of negative feelings. That is one of the best things we can do for our well-being. So choose a negative feeling you've got. Is it against yourself? Is it against a situation or against another person? That negativity does not serve you. We are going to let it go. Focus on the source of negativity and practice letting go. Some call it forgiveness, yet it does not involve forgiveness as in cancelling the consequences or the punishment, but it involves just letting go of your negative feelings within yourself. We are doing this for you, not for the other person. So choose a person or a situation or something about yourself that you want to, let's say, forgive. If you're thinking of a person, it can be someone who hurt you very, very much, like an ex or an abusive parent, or it can be someone you love who, by the mere fact that they're so close to you, hurts you a little yet recurrently, like a teenager yelling at you, or a wife forgetting your birthday, or a best friend ignoring the importance of a major success in your life. You can also let go of the resentment towards people who are not that close to you and who have annoyed you rather than truly hurt you. For example, you can let go of negative feelings towards someone who snubbed you, who treated you unfairly, or did not include you, whether at work or in the playground, or even somebody who cut in front of you in traffic. As you practice every day, keep varying the target of your forgiveness and the intensity of the negative feelings you are trying to remove. Go up and down the scale of intensity. Do not try to forgive always the same person for the same thing, or you will kill the fun of the practice. So what about forgiving a situation or forgiving yourself? I'll give you an example. This is an example of a situation I often find myself forgiving. I practice letting go of my anger and dismay because one of our children, through nobody's fault, has developed a chronic illness. It's a situation, it's not another person, but I have to practice this recurrently, as it is not easy to fully achieve. You can practice letting go of your frustrations towards the traffic you find yourself in every day. Some of my friends forgive the fact that they are living in this day and age as if they were further. Some of my friends forgive the fact that they are living today when they would like to live in the future, where they would have cures to the cancers that affect themselves and the people they love. I let go of the resentment I felt for holding beliefs that were not serving me. So, for example, I have been overwhelmed and have been close to depression because I thought I had too much on my plate. I have a child with autism, one with type 1 diabetes, a tweenie threatening suicide, and I've got a preschooler. My husband is working abroad, my family is the other side of the planet, my friends are scattered around the world, and there is an incredible lack of immediate cultural stimulation, or at least to the type of cultural stimulation I'm used to in the place I currently live. And it might not seem to you as comparable to the other issues, but to me it really is. So now I have discovered that I'm virtually limitless, and I have swapped a limiting belief for one that serves me better and can deal with pretty much anything that is thrown at me. Not only I have now successfully let go of my old limiting beliefs, but I have also fully let go of the negative feelings attached to them, which in turn has positively impacted all of the issues I was dealing with in a virtuous spiral. So what negative feelings are you letting go of today? What are you forgiving? Is it a person, a situation, yourself? I will leave you a minute to focus on letting go. Now you're going to prime your sense of being loved. This will automatically relax you. Think of a person or an animal you love very, very much. For example, I think of the love I feel towards one of my children. Now you choose. Imagine the sensation of that love and bask in that sensation. You can imagine that with every breath you exhale, you are blowing up a balloon full of that love. You can blow it up to normal size right in front of you, or you can blow it up bigger and encompassing the whole planet Earth. When you finish exhaling and blowing it up, pop the balloon and be showered with impalpable glitter. That is the love of your beloved one, and it will stay with you all day. Experience that emotion of love. Bask in that sensation. You can repeat the balloon exercise as many times as you like. The more you do it, the more relaxed you will get. You are switching your inner system from the sympathetic system of fight and flight to the parasympathetic system of rest and digest. You can also vary the balloon size as you wish, or experiment with the color of the balloon or its glitter. Now, let's turn to awe. Awe and wonder are not luxury emotions. They're not the emotional equivalent of a Lamborghini or an Aston Martin, as many people think of. They are accessible to all of us every day, at any time. They have many, many benefits. For example, awe promotes curiosity. So when faced with things that blow our minds, things that we do not fully understand, we automatically want to learn more, which ultimately leads us to increased resources and choices. Curiosity also promotes pro-social behavior because our ego shrinks in the presence of something so vast that we do not feel we can wrap our mind around it completely. Which is why we want to turn awe and wonder on every day of our life. So here's how. Open your eyes and look around you. Now focus your attention on the fact that everything you see is made out of stardust. Yes, stardust. Millions of years of interactions between stars have resulted in the stardust that makes up Earth and everything on it. Focus on one thing that you see. You can choose anything you like. How do you feel about the fact that stardust has now become a perfect plant, or a cat, or your child, or a treadmill, or a sheet, or a car, or a flower, or anything at all? Are you in awe yet? Now pay close attention to any given thing. Let that attention graduate to surprise, and then to astonishment, and then to awe. Or go straight to awe. Repeat this step randomly multiple times throughout the day, focusing on something you normally give for granted. And access awe not just through great natural landscape, artistic masterpieces, or technologically mediated realities, but also in the small and the ordinary shaped stardust. Now let's move on to connection. Remember how we use the love and compassion for a loved one and bask in that love for ourselves? Now let's focus on it again. To make the task easier, visualize it as a light. You can choose the color of the light. Expand it to touch everyone you love, or everyone in your area, or in the whole world. You can mix and match every time. You can expand it to your closest family, then to your extended family, then to your friends, and then to their family and friends, until you encompass the whole world. Or you can start with anyone in your home, then in your area, in your city, and your continent, and then expand it to the whole world. Hold everybody on the planet in your light of love and compassion. Or you can watch as if you were on the moon and your love and compassion quickly took the whole planet, as if they were like a wave of an enormous tsunami. Or you can watch as if you were on the moon and your love and compassion quickly took over the whole planet, as if they were the wave of an enormous tsunami. Keep mixing and matching. The form doesn't matter. The aim is to feel connected and send your love and compassion to either a section of the population or to every single creature on the planet. Now that you have loosely sent out your love and compassion to all, think of 3 actual people. You might know them well or not at all. Choose 3 different ones every time. Send each of them good, kind thoughts. They might be generic kind thoughts, or they might be tailored to their own situation. To complement this exercise, in the next 24 hours, see if you manage to slip in some actual random acts of kindness towards someone. All this good thinking and doing is actually going to have an impact on your well-being. You are being altruistic to be selfish, and it works a charm. So now think about the 3 people and send them good thoughts. It's time for gratitude. What made you happy or grateful over the past 24 hours? Or maybe over the past week or a month? Think about the different sectors of your life. Family, community, adventure, creativity, contribution, your career. Focus on each good thing. Feel the joy you experienced. Relieve the emotion with all your 5 senses. It might be something big, like a new home or a new job. More often, it will be something small, like a good meal or a sunny day. It can be everything in between, like a good catch-up with a friend, a kiss from one of your children, or a documentary, or a TED Talk on YouTube that has sparked new ideas and pointed out new directions. Even if you had the worst day ever, you can still be thankful of the fact that tomorrow the day is by definition going to be better than today. Here, the only rule is that you have to think of new things every day. You cannot cheat and just be thankful for your great friends or kids or home and teachers every day. Can't do that. You need to keep it different and novel every day. Find even the smallest thing you are thankful for today. To make it easier, we are going to break up your life into 12 sectors. Be grateful for things belonging to different sectors every time you do this practice. The sectors are your family life, your love relationship, your friends and networks, your community, your adventures, your creativity, your intellectual life and learning, your skills, your health and fitness, your environment, your career, and your spiritual life. Now pick and choose some of this and find out what you're grateful for. I'll leave you a minute to think about what you're grateful for today. Now that we have done all the preparatory work, we have flossed your mind and made you aware of how happiness and well-being are a big part of your life already, it's time to have fun and play. We are going to design your experience of the future. You might find this exercise particularly difficult. That's normal. We often imagine that losing ourselves into daydreaming is a delightful experience. Yet, many people find it painful to spend more than a few seconds in their own inner worlds. They hate it. If that is the case for you, you are in good company. A recent study revealed that about a quarter of female subjects and 2/3 of men prefer to endure electrical shocks rather than sit alone with their own thoughts for 15 minutes. So, don't feel cranky or inadequate if you find this exercise challenging. Create a story around it, because your brain likes narratives. So choose from 1 or 2 different sectors of your life every time you do this practice. So here is a reminder of the sectors: family life, love and relationships, friends and networks, community, adventures, creativity, intellectual life, learnings, skills, health and fitness, environment, career, and spiritual life. Have you picked up 1 or 2? You can choose randomly. Or, if you want, there's another method for picking. During the day, write all 12 areas down and give them scores of where you're at right now. Some areas will score 7 or higher. Some might score 3 or lower. So your objective is to bring them all up to at least a score of 6 and to maximize those you really enjoy getting involved in. You can start by focusing on the areas with the lowest scores. Or maybe every day you can pick one of the worst performing which might be needed, but usually are depressing, and bulk it up with one of the best performing areas, which will cheer you up. It is important that you mix and match every day, and that you keep it varied and interesting. If you always choose the same 4 or 5 areas, not only you will not see any improvement in the other areas, but you will also get bored and drop the practice altogether. Once you have chosen, think of what might be lying in the adjacent possible and also in the non-adjacent possible. Use all of your 5 senses and incorporate emotions. Visualize the experiences you would like to have over the next 1 or 3 or 5 or even 10 years. You have to be aware that you will tend to overestimate what you can do over the next year, and you will tend to underestimate what you can achieve over longer periods, so for example the 3, the 5 or the 10-year time frames. If you're doing those, visualize your results and then double them. That will look more similar to what you can achieve in reality. Keep varying the timeline every day to keep it interesting. Do you need an example? Well, all my adult life I have thought of myself as a communicator and as an educator. As someone who can make really complicated ideas sound very easy. A learner and a sharer. Since changing my beliefs to assume I'm virtually limitless, I have started toying with and visualizing the idea of me as an artist and of me as an inventor. In my 3 and 5 and 10 years experience design, I see myself as an artist, as an inventor. I also love to surprise myself with doing things I never thought I would be able to do. Now, I purposefully design those experiences. For example, surfing, with medium to long-term deadlines, as they lie outside my adjacent possible. Then I learn the skills to bring them into my adjacent possible. For example, I've learned stand-up paddleboarding. I'm practicing more to become a stronger swimmer in the pool. I'm learning about rips. And, as if by magic, surfing is shifting into my adjacent possible, and I can make it happen. Let your mission inform all of your creative visualization. Refer to it as a beam of a lighthouse that shows you the way. If you're not sure what your mission is, go through the video about finding your mission. It's called Mission Finding Your Mission. It mixes different inputs from Stephen Kotler, Tom Chi, Vishen Lakhiani to give you a step-by-step half-an-hour technique to find your mission. While visualizing your future, bear in mind that your brain has an inbuilt mechanism to spot dangers and to worry. It does so for survival. Yet, especially if you live in a first world country, survival is not an issue nowadays. Keep at the back of your mind that pretty much every single indicator in the world shows us that life is getting better, easier, and that we have ever-growing opportunities. Also, remember that exponential technology consistently shortens the time between when we think up an idea and when we can manage to make it come true. As we imagine, with an ever shorter time lag, so it becomes. So try to imagine your perfect future. You can problem solve on the way. Technologies that have not yet been invented might make your goals easier to achieve, or you might be the person to develop them and benefit others as a result. I will leave you a minute so that you can visualize your perfect future in the areas that you have chosen today. Now that you have visualized the joys, successes, and learning failures that lie far ahead, it's time to visualize what lies ahead in the next 24 hours, so that we can pull our chosen adjacent possible into our life. How are the next 24 hours going to unfold? so that we can see progress in one or all the areas that we have creatively visualized. Can you visualize an act of kindness? How are your friends going to come into your life today? If you have no plans to see friends, can you visualize making 1 to 3 phone calls to friends you have not heard from in a while? Do you need to learn new skills to make your long-term goals feasible? Are you going to visualize creating or maintaining a new network of people? You can experiment with all the areas of your life. Creatively visualize your day as it unfolds, or parts of it where you're going to experience incremental growth for the future. Visualize the increments you can achieve today so that you can pull your future into your reality. I will give you a minute now so that you can creatively visualize your whole day from when you wake up to when you go to bed. Ready for the next section? The next section is just a reminder that you are enough for whatever you need or want to do. If you have forgotten that, just take a lipstick and write it on your bathroom mirror. You are enough. And if you find it useful, share my current belief that you're limitless. Yet, even though we know that we are enough, we feel better if we know we can count on some support. So know that you are loved and supported. If you are religious, now focus on the support of a higher power you believe in. If you're not religious, focus on the love and support of your family and friends, of volunteers, of your community, of peer networks, and focus on your inner strength. In case you're not familiar with peer networks are networks of people just like you who help you, even if they do not know you. An example, every single person who has contributed to Wikipedia, which most of us now rely on, or people who would find your project and great idea on Kickstarter, or who would fund your cause through one of the many cause funding sites, or the Night Scout crowd who has revolutionized the life for kids and families with type 1 diabetes. Peer networks provide support without expecting monetary compensation in return, and they will support you. You can consciously increase your support networks in many ways. One way I find particularly useful is having different accountability partners for different areas of my life. You can have a Rollercoaster practice club, similar to a book club, where every week you come together and you swap ideas. In both cases, you can periodically check on your progress, create stronger ties, and help each other and spark each other's ideas. I like to visualize love and support, no matter if by God, by family, friends, and others, or by my own inner strength, as the oxygen that I breathe. You can do that too. If you'd like to try, you can even give the oxygen a tinge, say a blue or white light. It helps visualize it. With every breath of air, I inhale love and support. Through my veins, they get to every last cell in my body, from my little toes to my brain, constantly, all day. So why don't you try? Think that with every breath you take, you're also inhaling love and support. With all that love and support, it's easier to feel good and take massive action. It's easy to experiment a lot and fail a lot, because massive actions and failures are some of the instruments we can use to get to where we want to be. Lastly, I encourage you to experiment with something I do every day. It's called heart rate variability training. And also with something else I do every day, which is states of flow. I will go through this heart rate variability training and states of flows in different videos. If you go through the roller coaster practice every day, You will increase your well-being baseline of a few points, and you will make sure that troughs in your happiness are ever shorter. You will not go as low, and you will bounce back faster, for your benefit and the benefits of all of your loved ones. If you find this practice as useful as I do, try the roller coaster practice light and share them both with family and friends. Your life is a roller coaster. Ride it well. You will increase your well-being and go beyond your wildest expectations. If you enjoyed the roller coaster practice, subscribe to the channel or find out more on brainr.com.